Hello everybody, Phobos here. Welcome to another episode on our Let's Play series here on the KubiKraft server. This is episode 6, and, well, we're here at the Ender because there was a a bit of a recent meetup with one of the new members on the server, LuckyShot13. Everyone give him a nice warm welcome. I know that my videos tend to come out kind of late, and better late than never, I suppose, but yeah, we helped him out with a fishing rod and a couple other things. The sound was absolutely terrible on that video, so I'm just not going to include it. For some reason, it worked out well on his end. Go check out his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. But that being said, while we were there, we kind of gave him the wrong shulker box. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. There was like 2 stacks of shulker shells in there, and actually, and honestly, it wasn't even that bad. It really wasn't. I mean, like, there was still 2 stacks of shulker boxes or shulker shells, but honestly, yeah. Thanks to the looting tables here on the server, we're fine. We're fine. So yeah, enjoy the gift, Lucky Shot. It was supposed to only be an empty shulker box to help you move things around more easily, so you could take better, more productive trips into town and whatnot. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, here we are. My goal actually is to fill this baby with shulker shells, just because, well, I'm not sure if Kyle has already adjusted the looting table, but he saw a video and kind of mentioned that he was going to make it so that they don't drop nearly as often. Well, we're going to be here. We're going to be here and just getting us some shulker shells, just because the storage system that we're going to put in place at the new base is going to involve these quite a bit. Now, that being said, yeah, hi, hello. We're going to have a new base. We really are. It's time to move out of the dirt hut. And yeah, so once we're done here, we're going to go check out our new home. So, yeah. Yeah. We're set for shulker shells for a while. We even grabbed an extra stack just for the sake of doing it. Basically, this is what's going to fuel our immediate projects, and we'll have this as kind of a back end or background. Something we'll have on hand if we ever need it again. So we basically never have to get shulker shells again, which is fantastic. And it only took, well, we went from level 50 to level 81. So it took, I'm just glad that I had a mending sword, because we would have went through some diamonds for sure. Guess where we are, guys. Guess where we are. We are home. I know, it doesn't look like much right now, but we're going to turn this into something really cool. So yeah, first thing that we're going to do, though, is set up our beacon. As I might have mentioned before, I like to set it up at y=5 right off the top. And yeah, I'm going to break the cardinal rule of Minecraft right now. We're going to dig straight down. But at least we have our... Whoa, and right there is why they usually recommend that you don't. That being said, we have our potion of fire resistance. We have feather falling. Thank God we have feather falling. Wow, this is... not going anywhere near as smooth as other times that I've done this. This is actually, yeah, interesting. So we're at 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I should be looking at 4 perfect. So that's going to be interesting to get out of. Luckily, we have rockets. So yeah, I'm just going to dig this out and get a nice little... chest system set up and all that fun, all the basics. Gonna do all the basics and we'll be back. Alright guys, so this here is the beacon room. Now I made it a little bit bigger than I normally do because I plan on spending a little bit of time here. I need to light up caves and light up the surface, but also kind of come up with a bit of an idea as to how our starter home, so to speak, is going to look here. So I think for now, this is a good place to throw down some chests and throw in a fish farm, stuff like that. Like, it's just... I am going to spiff it up, though, at least a little bit. I'm going to I'm thinking maybe stone brick again, just to kind of clean it up. And I just kind of gave away a bit of a secret there for those who are paying attention. Decided to, let's just cut to the chase. So, diamonds. Look what I found. I'm always very happy when I dig down for a beacon and find diamonds. So let's actually see how much we've got here. And if it's safe to dig it up and all that fun stuff. So, so far we're looking at That was 6. Yeah, 6 ore. So come back with the Fortune 3 pickaxe in just a moment. What we're going to show off here is the rest of the resource we got just from digging this little hole. We got almost half a stack of iron, some gold, some redstone, all that fun stuff. So like I'm actually pretty happy with this given the small amount of space. I've had to dig out way bigger areas than this just to get even half of that. So very happy. Come back with the Fortune 3 pickaxe in just a moment. We'll see how many diamonds we got. Okay, so we have the pickaxe armed. And we're just going to lay out our 6 blocks here. Okay, 9. That's not too bad of a return on 6 blocks. It's a little bit more than 1 per 1. I've definitely seen better though. So a little bit disappointed, but that's okay. It's okay. We are not exactly hurting for diamonds. I mean, we've actually been using some as beacon blocks. So, although we'll see if we can maybe change that a little bit so we're not leaving so many of our diamonds just laying around. But yeah, let's get back to the digging and setting up and all that fun stuff. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are in the cave system that's actually really close to the new base. Basically, I was working on the beacon room and realized that we were actually in need of some resources. So I thought, hey, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? We have to light up the caves in this area anyway. Might as well come down here and, you know, light up the caves, get some resources, all that fun stuff. So yeah, basically, what I wanted to talk about was just some of the plans for this immediate area. As you noticed, it is a large desert. Now, I chose that on purpose. I was trying to think of like something that would be a little bit unique. Something that, like, of course, everything's been done in Minecraft. That's simple. Let's just put it out there. Everything's been done already, right? But if I could do something that less people have done, or do it in a different way, or something, right? Then I feel like I can actually contribute something to the Minecraft community. So yeah, basically, what I'm shooting for is kind of an industrial desert look. The original inspiration was actually Tatooine from Star Wars. Just kind of that, it's a barren landscape, but there's still civilization, there's still some basic technology, all that fun stuff. So that's kind of the direction that I want to go in with our build. Now, how close we're actually going to be able to get to that it's going to be interesting. It's definitely not going to be like a complete clone or copy of Tatooine in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually thinking of pulling some inspiration from like the privateers of privateers, you know, back in whatever era they were from. You know, you have pirates, privateers, all that fun stuff. So it's kind of militaristic, but it's not at the same time. So that would kind of, allow for a little bit of flexibility with the build is kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, not going to ramble on too much more about that. Just basically I did a lot of this for a little while and came back with a bunch of resources, and I say we go and take a look at what we managed to find. Alright guys, we are back at our main base. I've actually come to call it the bunker based on what I actually wound up turning it into. Check it out. Now, the beacon does kind of get in the way a little bit, but as you can see here, we kind of got like military bunker style beds up here. And this here is going to be our storage system for things like ores and stone and all that fun stuff. This here is actually going to be from a fish farm. So we'll get to that in just a second. It's not hooked up yet. Actually, it's not even built, but I just wanted to have the chests symbolically there. So basically, you come down from your night of AFK fishing and just kind of, you know, take a peek through all of your stuff. So it's kind of low tech, but you know what? It definitely does get the job done. The whole point of this here is to be practical, but, you know, half decent looking. This here's a nice little trick. Did you know that beacons can go through ender chests? Yeah, couldn't really find a place to put that. So it was just kind of like, well, there, 2 birds with 1 stone, mobs can't fall in, and we have a place where we can access our ender chest equally from all places. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, basically the gist of what we're doing here is when we fill up with stone, for example, bam, throw that in, we would just simply knock it out, toss it up here. So that way it's some very nice compact storage. You don't need a huge amount of hoppers or anything like that. It's a manual sorter at this point, but you know what? It's definitely enough to get the job done. So yeah, what I'm kind of excited about though is the item smelter. So yeah, it's I don't know if we can quite call it a super smelter because of course now people have, you know, ones without mine carts and all this fun stuff. Basically, it's the same idea as the one at the XP farm, but I tweaked it a little bit so it's a little bit more high tech, and as you can see, it allowed us to clean it up a bit too. Not symmetrical, not happy about that, but I mean, like, I tried to knock out those and it just didn't look right, and whatever, we're gonna have to deal with this. So I haven't tested it yet. I say that we take it for a test. Oh yes, before we do that though, because we're going to actually smelt the things that I'm going to talk about now. This here's our loot from doing the caving. Yeah, not bad at all. So we got a bunch of discs, we got half a stack of gunpowder, which is pretty good, and notch apple. Pretty happy about that. And of course, you know, coal and miscellaneous whatever. We're probably going to melt down the horse armor, honestly, because, yeah, not too concerned. But that being said, we've got this for ore. Now, add 2 stacks of iron onto this because we had to make hoppers and rails, and speaking of rails, add another 25 gold onto this, right? But yeah, that's what we managed to pull in ore-wise, so it was definitely worth it. It was actually the main reason why I went out was for iron, so very happy with that. And now I say let's smelt this up. We should smelt this all up because yeah, it's that's just what you do when you have lots of iron. So let's yeah. The only thing is that you have to jump up for that for some reason. So grab that, grab our coal, which I have a bunch of it over here. Where did coal? Still getting used to the system. But that's okay. So the coal, and what we'll see here, nothing in the furnaces, right? Coal goes down here. And we should start, it's a trap chest, so it's not going to fire into action, but we should start to hear some ticking. And then it stops. So basically I have an item elevator that brings everything up, and it should hopefully start to, oh yeah, right, it's not going to start to filter in, duh. We have a minecart at the back for that. So, but if we can kind of maybe, yeah, there. We can see that the coal is starting to creep in here. So yeah, that's good. And what we have at the back here, before we even fire this up, let's take a quick peek. I left this open on purpose so that we could actually look. But yeah, we got like a ton of storage back here for items. And the reason why is, like, it's not that I feel that we're going to wind up with this many double chests of coal. It's that we're going to be using things like bows and fishing rods. So, and those, of course, because they're not stackable, take up a lot of space. So I figure if we can get 9 double chests of bows and whatnot, then the rest of it can just be kind of burnt. Don't really care. But yeah, so all the coal's kind of coming up in here slowly, thanks to the item elevator over there. And let's just kind of yap our way back over here, throw the system on, and see what happens. Okay, gotta admit, not too happy about this. Not too happy about this. I'm gonna take some time off camera to figure out what's going on. Okay, I think I got it figured out. Now, since we've already torn apart a fair bit of this, we might as well just show off some of the things. So this here, I forgot to mention, is just the dump chest. Literally, it's for moving large amounts of bows and whatnot, right? So just dump your inventory there, grab it later. Forgot to point out, too, the crafting table's under here, so it's easy access from all, like, no matter where you are, there's a crafting table, which is awesome, and we're going to have a mine shaft if you did piece that together. Okay, moving on. As you can see, got 6, 6, 6, and it goes all the way to the end here. And what happened, basically, because we're dealing with stackables here, this wouldn't have happened if it was bows and fishing rods and all that fun stuff. But basically, because we're dealing with stackables at the moment, what was happening was this wasn't here, all the way to that trap chest. Yeah, oh, right, it does that because it's a trap chest. So anyway. Yeah, none of that was there, and what was happening was it was coming up the item elevator, coming out over to this chest here, and because it all stacked, this was the only thing that was getting coal. And then what would happen is, like, because that took too long, the thing would fly out, it would grab it, but then when it went to distribute it, the first couple furnaces were grabbing all of the fuel. So yeah, what I did to fix that was just made it so that the first stop is this chest over here, which fills the hopper while it's sitting there. So that's, it's not to say that that's never going to happen again, but it's not going to happen as often. The other thing too is the way that I had this back here wired. You see this lever on this block? I just had two levers side by side, and what was happening was the top one was just getting completely derailed. So lots of fun there. Let's fire this thing up and yeah, get to smelting. So I'm pretty sure this is going to work. So you move. Okay. We got the jump up, grab this, and smeltify. All these things, please just work. Boom! Look at that. Look at that. And we're, as you can see, okay, so it's not actually putting anything else in there, but if we do 6 times 9, we're looking at 45 or The chest is empty though, so we don't have anything else coming in here. So that's still draining. Okay, so we'll let that run for a little bit, even though it's kind of loud. Actually, let's fix that. Using sounds, I think it's blocks. No, whatever. Let's do all of it. So now that we've muted everything and we can actually hear ourselves think, yeah, pretty happy with this. But we're going to throw some more fuel in. We're going to throw some more fuel in so that I can show the torch tower here in action. So basically everything goes by and the droppers go all the way up there. I'm not going to bother digging up the circuit, but you know, if you want to know, I can do a quick little tutorial or whatever on that. Torch spam, that just happened because I had torches in my offhand and was too lazy to turn them down, so whatever. Don't care. But yeah, at this point we should actually start to see, yeah, more furnace fuel coming in here. Give it another second here. Bam, 12. And this here is still sitting at 5. I'm not too happy about that actually, but I think it's just because it's not getting any time to actually sit, and these are stackable. Like I said, this is primarily going to be to deal with the garbage that comes from the fish farm. So yeah, hopefully it's not going to be too much of an issue. If it is, you know what's going to end up happening is this here will just eventually fill up to like 64, and then it'll start to fill up the other ones. Whatever, you know what, it technically works. It works well enough for my purposes. I'm happy. Well guys, that is all that I have time for today. If you liked what you saw here, please support the channel, like, subscribe, hit that notify button, all that fun stuff. It's not your first video, you know what to do. And of course, leave a comment as well, letting me know what you liked about the episode, what you didn't, just because that'll help to make better videos in the future. Now, if you'll excuse me, I yeah, have some caving to do. Never ends. Anyway, enjoy!